Okay, here we are. Hello everyone, and welcome to another painting live streaming with Pixel Creatives. My name is Ruben Martinez, and as almost every Monday, I will be with you in the following hour painting with you. This time, this beautiful miniature from the Kickstarter that Black Sun and Broken Toad has had launched almost 1 week ago, more than that. And as you could see, these miniatures are about Henson's Labyrinth and Dark Crystal films. So, uh, if you saw these films in your childhood, probably no words need in order to present these characters for you. Hello, welcome. ¿Qué tal, Tony? Qué bueno verte. Hola, Jaime. Hi, Stefan. Happy to see you there as every day in the live streaming. Oh, hi, Miguel. I'm alive. My good age not kill me. Okay, so hola Ray, pues muy bien, llevamos el día, que para ser lunes no es poco. Hay cosas que nunca cambian. Ok, pues bueno, estaba comentando en mi inglés particular. Bueno, pues como todos los lunes, estoy aquí con vosotros para hacer otro live stream de pintura. En este caso, estamos haciendo una serie sobre las figuras del Kickstarter que han lanzado Black Sun y Broken Toad hace más de una semanita. Y bueno, pues como podéis ver son figuras que son de las películas de Dentro del Laberinto y El Cristal Oscuro. O sea que bueno. Hi, sir. How are you? Así que creo que no necesitan presentación. Si habéis visto las pelis, pues que os voy a contar. Okay, first of all, in the waiting to other people came to the live streaming, I'll take a look to the Kickstarter in order to see what I'm talking about. Okay, let me change the screen. And this is the miniature that I'm painting right now. This is a SkekSil character, and this is a bust, but in the Kickstarter you could find other characters and other scales for these beautiful models, okay? Like this one, this is, I don't know, but probably will be bigger than a 70 millimeters. And you could find full body miniatures as well. This is from the Dark Crystal. And there are others from Labyrinth with amazing quality in the sculpture and in the production, as we could see in the prototypes for painting. The casting is amazing. Okay, so as a reminder, oh, this is beautiful. This Kickstarter will launch for 19 days more. So if you want to take a look, just Google that. And in the meantime, we'll be painting some miniatures from this project for you. And in this way, we could spend a nice evening Monday with you painting these beauties. So let me take a look to the comment. Really? Okay. I think I have some problems with the audio. Let me take a look. Is okay the audio right now? The other day I don't have any problems with the audio, so please be good. Okay. I think when I talk to the laptop, the audio is good, but but I found that the signal is okay. Hello, Maxine. Nice to see you. Thanks, Mikael. Okay, I'll assume that the audio is correct, so I'll continue with the miniature. So please be welcome, the newcomers, and let's start with the painting. Um, okay, the last day I did a quick sketch over the face of the scroll keeper, as you can see. And during this streaming, I'm planning to start painting some detailing like the eyes, the teeth, the mouth, and add more framing to the face. Okay, maybe I hope to have some time to start painting the cloth on the neck. So as I advance in the painting of the miniature and define the surrounding elements of the face, you could see how the focus will be more strong over this part. Okay. Um I I have little time to make the streams. I'll try to focus on some parts, some interesting parts for you. I don't have enough time to paint the whole miniature. But if you want to see something specific, just ask me about that, and I will be pleased to make that for you. So just ask whatever you want, and I'll read your comment. ¿Qué pasa, Cazurro? Qué grande eres. Me alegro que estés por aquí. Nada, pues has llegado a tiempo, o sea que no te has perdido nada. Voy a empezar un poquito con el detallado un poco de la cara y pues eso, la boca, los ojos, los dientes y bueno, también avanzaré un poquito si puedo el collarín este que lleva o el alzacuellos para definir un poquito más toda esta parte. So for painting the mouth, I'll look for reference for this miniature, and I saw that some magenta hues are in this zone. So as you could mind, I will use magenta. Um, I think that the wet palette is a little bit far away from the main view, but I think in order to see what I'm missing is enough. So this this mix is pretty simple, okay? It's magenta and light color, for example, this one that is already some variation of the magenta with some white, okay? So it's perfect to make a lighter color for magenta parts. Okay, so for a base tone for the light of the face, sorry, of the face, of the mouth, I will mix a little bit of magenta with a little bit of this other light color. You could use white, but I usually use these light colors instead white. I found more strong in color than using pure white. Okay, and for me is like a mark in order to not abuse of adding too much white to my mixes. So this is something specific for me. Okay. Okay. If the image has any problem, uh, please advise me about that. Okay. And I'll start to add this tone over this base coat that I did the last day. Probably I need to make several coats in order to achieve this color, but I'll show you a trick in order to not give a lot of layers in order to see the magenta flowing over this dark base color. And Isar, I'm with you. This is my favorite color. For me, has another property that is curious because you could add magenta to all the mixes and everything is good. I don't know why, but for me, it's a fetiche color, fetish color, I think it's called. Okay, probably you are seeing now very very well the magenta that I'm applying right now, but this is because it's wet. When this coat has dried, the color um, will lose some strength. Okay, these are hidden parts. So there will be some parts that will be difficult to read with the brush. But taking the brush, as I always commenting, near to the results and making this, I don't know the word, uh, punto de apoyo. ¿Alguien sabe cómo se traduciría eso? Estos streaming, la verdad es que son la leche porque además así aprendo algo de inglés, o por lo menos eso intento. Anchor point, I think I'm referring to that. I'm trying to have more precision than painting in the air. So this is when you paint in this way, you don't have any precision. Okay, so as I did with the skin, I'm making and in all further steps, I will refine. Taking advantage that I have already this magenta color, sorry, I'll make some brush strokes on the upper part of the mouth in order to give a little bit of this hue here. Is the image okay for you? And today I will be painting some teeny parts, so it's a pity that I can zoom more the, the camera, but I hope that this will be enough in order to make an idea for you of about what I'm doing. Okay, as you could see, I'm expanding a little bit this magenta as I did in the last streaming in the adjacent parts of the skin in order to have um, an harmonic relationship between two colors. Okay, it's not about making this part magenta and this part blue. Okay, you need to make some interaction in order to make something organic for the flames. Okay, supporting point. Yeah, thank you, my friends. Okay, so using this supporting point, I continue adding magenta to this difficult part to read. Every miniature you will find that have some difficult parts to read. Probably you could paint these parts in glue from the main miniature, but I prefer to glue everything as much as I can because I have every time everything mounted, and I'll have more sense of what about the light. I If I paint everything separately, when I join together everything, I could find some mistakes in the lining and in the saddles because maybe some parts I could make. I could choose a direction for the light, and in other parts, maybe I have choose other direction from for the same light, and it will be something weird for the viewer. So this is why I glue my miniatures as much as I can. Okay, taking advantage of this magenta hue, I will add this magenta to the eyeball. Okay, I'm trying to make some irrigation in this part. Of course, the eyeball will be white or almost white, okay? But I left some magenta in the slash in the slash more near to the floor in order to simulate this irrigation in the eye. So I'll mixing more of the light color in the mix in order to give another layer of light. Probably this will be too light for this part, okay? But this is not a problem because later I will be lower the contrast. And this is where comes the tiling time. So I'm trying to make little dot stripes, and with this detailing, I simulate the texture of the raw skin of these parts of the leaves. Okay, I'm currently because this is so small, and for this is important. A small brush, hold your breath, don't speak while you are doing this because you could die. But I'm taking my risk for you. So don't worry, I have some practice with this. And you could start to see how the lid is defined. Hiding this light, okay? Here I continue with the stripes, with the dotting, okay? For the reason that I comment before, in order to extend a little bit the color over other parts and make more organic feeling for the skin. Okay, so this is basically the process to create definition and make some textures that is pretty similar to the things that I did the last day. So I hope that you are getting used with this technique, and why not? You could try to add to your arsenal of painting miniatures, because as you could see is very easy. I think you need to practice your precision, but it's funny, I think, and very effective. Okay, so you have some question? Remember, just ask me because I'm reading your comments. And in this way, if you ask, I could take some breath. Okay, with the light color, okay, I forgot to make the same in the tongue. Okay, so I'll do that. But in the tongue, not too much work is needed because the tongue is hidden in the shallow part of the mouth. But okay, you need to define a little bit the tongue in order to not lose this element on the mouth. So I'll add this light little bit, okay? And okay, now you will see the tongue, I hope. Okay, now I could add some final light points with the light color pure, but in some spots, not in every part, because I'm overdoing the effect. And these little light points will add some shiny finish to the surface, because I assume this part of the character will be wet. So I'll try to keep this effect until the end. In the tongue, I will add these little light points, of course, because probably is the more wet part of the face, I think. And for these light points, only little dots are needed. Very teeny. Okay, something like that. Okay, so sorry if sometimes I'm out of the camera. This is the result. And now I'm starting to paint the teeth. For the teeth is very easy to paint because you need almost two colors. Okay, I use this brownish medium tone. Is a little bit greenish, so it's okay. And for adding some lights, I only need a light color. Uh, I don't use white to add lights to the colors. As I told before, I usually use light colors, but with some hue inside them. Okay, these are warmer light colors. I have this one as well. Okay, you could use this kind of colors. And this is medium, but is cold. I don't have here any light colors. Okay, yeah, for example, these are light colors, but with cold temperature. So I usually use this kind of colors to add lights. I put a little bit of this one for the eyes. Sorry, for the eyes, for the teeth, and I will add a quick base coat. And in the color that I'm using, I will I'm adding a little bit of magenta. This is something that I did in my previous base coats in order to make relationships between colors in these parts. Okay, so I have added magenta in the border of the mouth, and I'm adding a little bit for the teeth. I'm making more warmer this brownish color. Okay, and with this color I paint the teeth. Okay, in this way. They are small, so the definition comes later with the lighter color. Okay, but I need some base coating in order to add this light, because if I add the light directly, a light directly over a dark base coat, I will lose some middle tones. So this is why I first cover the teeth with this. Sorry, I almost out of the camera every time. Uh, have changed a little bit the setting, and I need to use comfortable with this. Okay, one by one, step by step. Painting miniature is something related with the patents, and this is good in these days. So you don't need to hurry and rush yourself while painting miniatures. I could you show some tricks in order to speed up your painting process, but every time you will need some time in order to make things correctly and your miniatures will look awesome. So sometimes the secret is not the technique and something like that, is the time that you have spent in your miniature. And with the okay, sorry, I don't know what paints you missed, but I'm for the tips I'm using this color. Okay, is a brown tone, a little bit turning to greenish. Okay, and to this tone I have added a little bit of magenta. Okay, so this is something similar to use a brown like this one. For example, I could use this one, but I love mixing. Okay, you will see that I'm always mixing my colors. I'm using some kind of reducing palettes in order to have this color coherence in the miniature. Okay, thanks for the correction. Okay, so the base coat for the tips are done, and now, okay, I hope you could see this. I will add in. ¿Qué tal, Isra? Muy buenas tardes. I will be adding to this light for making this light color. Okay, I have used this one light flares from Vallejo, but you could use whatever you have at home that is a light color. Okay, you could use white, of course, but be careful with the white. Don't use too much. Okay, so mixing this color with this light color, I will obtain a very light color like this one. Okay, I'll do it a little bit in order to make the light. The dilution is important. In every in these steps of sketching, the sketches, I'm using pretty the same dilution for all my steps. Is a little bit of diluted paint. Okay, I need some diluted paint in order to flow from the brush smooth, but not too much diluted in order to not cover anything. Okay, so this is the point. As a guide, you could take the paint from the bottle and add a little drop of water. Okay, you start to add more water, you start to make glasses that I'll use later for smoothing some parts, but not in these steps. I'm not needed because I don't want smooth transitions. I'm only placing the light and the shadow correctly, making the light sketch. Okay, so with this color, I will start to define the text, tips. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce this. And for this element, it's good to make this drawing. Okay, I'm adding a line here, you could see, I hope. And in the opposite side, I have the trimming light, okay, like this one. And I leave a dark part of the base coat that I applied before in the middle of the tip. And in this easy way, you could paint horns, big tips of the orcs, and whatever you have with the with this appearance. Okay. You could make a little bit of texture here because this part usually is uh, mm, rusted, or I don't know the word. Okay, to simulate some keeping and warming this element. Okay, in the little ones, you could simply paint the main light as I'm doing, and ready. Okay, I think maybe it's too teeny to see it very well in the camera, but later I'll try to make some picture in order to show you in our social medias and see the results. Of course, this is not finished because later you could add some glazing to smoke some parts, to add more hues to the miniature, and this probably will change in the final steps of the miniature. But if the initial steps are good looking, your miniature, in the final steps will be better. So this is why it's so important to make a good sketch in the beginning. Okay, so this is the result, and okay, okay. So now I'll start with the eyes. Okay, so the eyes. I didn't paint the skin around the eye, so this is will be the first thing that I will be doing. For that, I will use the colors that I had used the other day to paint the whole skin. So if you already had watched the video, um, you could remember that I had used these colors, okay, in order to give some light to this part. Okay, I'll add a little bit of magenta as well in order to desaturate this mix and make not too much powerful to the eye, because I want to center the attention of the viewer in the eyeball, no, not in the skin around the eyeball. So uh, I'm making this mix like the other day, remember, and a little bit of magenta in order to desaturate a little bit. Okay, as you could remember, I had used something like that. And if you don't saw the video, you can remember that you could see it again in the Big Child YouTube channel. And if you like it, this material that we are making for you, uh, don't forget to like and subscribe the channel in order to have more support and continue making this kind of streamings and material for you. As you can see, I already have added a little bit of this brown stone that I had used for the teeth. And as you could might, I'm using this stone because I had used this one in the other parts of the face. So for me, it's again something about to make um, more ambience in the miniature using the same colors in different parts and in different amounts in my mixes. Okay, so with this mix, I will add some lights over the eyelids this way. Sorry, defining the wrinkles in this part. Again, is a detailing task. I know that probably the the painting streaming will be slower because I'm deciding everything. Uh, but I found these kind of things could be from your for your interest because sometimes we show you how to sketch, but when you need to define, you have some doubts. So I hope this could be some answers to you. Okay, I will add a little bit of the light color in order to give here a little point of light. And here. I will add a lighter light point because I want to focus some attention here. So I will add more light in this part, in this way, okay? I'm extending the light a little bit in the surrounding parts. And I will add more of these colors, light colors, in order to achieve a high contrast. Like, like that, okay? Okay, so I will retook the eyeball because I had painted the framing of the eyeball. Okay, today you are very quiet. Are you there, or maybe you are walking in the street? How is going with the isolation in your respective countries? Here in Spain, we started to walk for an hour in the street. So we are, I think, getting better. Maybe in a couple of weeks it could be bad again, but now we are allowed to walk for an hour in a specific range of times. So this is very good for us. We need to take some fresh air, and this is good. I hope that you are doing well in your respective countries as well. So let's hope everything ends as soon as possible. But we need to live with the virus, I think, for probably a long time. Okay. Um, Now I will paint the eyeball with a light color. Okay. This is something that I'm always talking about, to paint the eyeball, not with white because this is called the white of the eye, but you could paint with this color. Remember, it's not white. You could see the hue is a little bit skin tone, like a skin, very light skin tone. Okay, in fact, the light flesh is the name of the color. So this is a very light color indeed to paint the eyeball. Okay, so in order to simulate some irrigation of the eye, I will add a little bit of red to this color. I don't using magenta, okay, this red, for example, I don't mind. I don't using magenta because I want to differentiate a little bit the eyeball and the mouth and the other elements that have a little bit of magenta, okay? But at the end, the difference will be very subtle, okay? So, too much red, I think. For the eyeball, I will make a pinkish tone like this that is near from this color, but a little bit darker, okay? So this color will be perfect to paint the eyeball. And trust me, you will see the eye with this color. You don't need to use white, okay? Oh, I load the rust too much, so I remove the paint, clean the excess of water, and load again more precisely. Okay, so I'll try to leave unpainted the black lining above and below this eyeball. Okay, don't worry because if I paint by error, I could remark again later. In fact, I will do that. Okay, so this is my white for the eyeball. Okay, and now with the red, I will mix a little bit the red with the magenta. Okay, I will make a highlining, sorry, a highlining, no, a dark lining in this part between the eyeball and the eyelids. in this way to separate and define the different parts. Okay. Okay, in this way. And for the upper parts, I will use a dark color. For example, this one. This is a very dark color. It's a violet. But because I'm making very small lines, I don't mind the hue. Okay. I am looking for dark values. Okay. So with this color, I will paint the same, but in the upper part to define even more the eyeball in this way. Okay. Now I I need to remake a little bit the white. It's important to make this part very defined. Okay, perfect. This is the result. And now I will make the iris. Hi, Sawa. How are you? Welcome. Okay, so for the iris, I will use. I saw in some reference that this guy has blue eyes, so I will use this blue, for example. Okay, it's a very dark blue, which is pretty perfect for painting this eye. And I will mix with a little bit of this other color that the dark violet that I have used before, okay, in order to make darker the blue. Okay, so I need to paint the iris, so I will point the eye to the front in this way. It's important to find the dilution, the correct dilution, as I told before, in order to have coverage, but a little bit of dilution in order to run smoothly the brush. Okay, it's important that you have your time to paint this element precisely, okay? Because we give a lot of personality to your miniature. I'm making the eye more rounded. So I'm not painting a dot in the middle of the eyeball, okay? Avoid this because the eyes look for reference, look yourself in the mirror, okay? The part of the iris that you usually see depends in the direction that you are looking for, okay? But in the most of the times, when you are relaxed and these kind of things, you will see an semisphere in the iris. Okay, something like that. It's not a perfect semisphere, okay? But it's not a dot in the center of the eyeball, okay? Because if you do that, your miniature will seems afraid. It's like with the eyes so open, and this is why you see the circle of the iris in a complete form, okay? So this is important to draw a semisphere in the eyeball. This is what I'm trying to do. And you don't need to make in one brushstroke, okay? Take your time, correct, and make round because this is round. So if I see that I did a little bit rough, okay, I could refine and make it more rounded in this way. With the base color, you could refine the form of the iris this way. And I'm making more rounded. For me, now it's better. Okay, I could retake again the circle in this part because it's important that the circle touch a little bit in the lower eyelash. Okay, I'm not pretty happy with this. Oh, perfect. Okay, so I hope that you will see a little bit. I'll extend now the eyelash, but I forget to do that in this part. And I will retouch that point. Okay, okay, it's 8 o'clock already. There are people clapping in the streets for the professionals of the health. So from here, or recognition as well. Okay, so now in order to advance with the iris, I will add a little bit of light. Okay, so for adding light to this iris, okay, I will add this color to my previous one. I don't need to make something very, very light. Okay, for me, a color like this will be okay. So a very nice blue. Okay, and to make this illumination, I will add a little bit of light inside the iris, but no outside. Take care in this way. Only a little bit. And a final light. For this, I could add a little bit of this color in order to make a teeny dot, but not too much light, okay? Because the main point of light will be later. Okay, something like that. And now you will see, and now comes the main point of light in the eyes, okay? So for this point of light, you don't need to use white as well, but I will use this one pure, little bit diluted, but not too much because I want to cover very good. And indeed, if you use this color directly from the bottle, you'll see how strong will be the point of light. Okay, so in this way, oops, you need a very sharp tip in your brush. In order to make these very tiny details. Okay, okay, I'll mark again the upper eye slash, okay, with a little black lining. And now this guy have an eye. You need to make the same in this part. So you could see the difference between both parts, okay? And how things start to shine a little bit. Now I will add quickly some smoothing in the face, okay? So as always, I'll extend a little bit the streaming. So I want to show you how to blend with the brush. Okay, I will darker a little bit the face, okay, but I will make more tones inside the skin, and I will make everything more smoother. Okay, so for make this kind of smoothing, I will use wider brush, okay? And this is a number 2, okay? And this is perfect for making brush, wider brush strokes. So in these steps, you don't need to be very precise, okay? And for this, I will use different colors, okay? I will flip the palette in order to take advantage of this space. I will add, sorry, I don't have magenta, okay. This color, for example, a little bit, and I dilute the paint to a point which is more or less like that. Always I say the same. How much is the dilution for this? Okay, you could take one drop with the brush of the paint and one drop or with the brush of the water. Okay, this is a good starting point. You could add more water if you want. But the real proof is when you make your brush strokes and you don't cover, sorry, you don't cover the letters, but you tint the surface of a printed letters, something like that. This is a good illusion in order to apply these glazes, okay? So this is one tone that I will be using for that. I will use some green like that and some blue because I need to use the colors that I have already in the miniature, okay? Something like that, but not much, not too much dark, not too much lighter, okay? So I'm using middle tones for this one. Okay, probably this will be too much dark, but I will using this green, which is lighter than the previous one, and will be okay. Okay. I'm adjusting the tones, okay? Something like that. And I'll prepare something orange. For that, like this. And I will mix a little bit with the previous magenta, this orange, okay? So I have my cleaning tones, the tones that I'm adding in the skin. So now I'll start to make these glazes over these parts, okay? So applying the paint from light to shadow in this way. Probably I will lose some light, some points of light, etc. But later I could bring back them again. Some magenta here. It's important to mark the magenta in the eye as I did before. In this way, and I could use magenta inside the eye in this part. Remember, they are glazes, so you are not covering your previous work. You are adding tones. You are making a tint on the surface, okay? And this is one of the funniest part of the process of painting miniatures. So enjoy it. Just it's a try. It's a matter of trial and error. Okay, so you use some tone in some parts, and you don't like it because it's not matching whatever you want. Don't worry because you are not covering your previous work. Okay, or if you don't like it, don't insist with this tone. Change, mix, try another one. Okay, I'm using in the nose parts the orange one. Okay, this is why I mixed this this tone. And again, as you could see, I'm adding these glazes from light to shadow in order to no tint too much of the light. Okay, of course, I will paint the light a little bit, but later you could make more light. Okay, I will add a little bit of these tones because they are warmer. I think will center the attention on the eye. This is one of the important part of the face. Maybe the miniature, the look of the miniature is very important. Will give you a lot of personality in your miniature. So keep an eye in the eye. Okay, so this is about the warmer tones. I'll now move on to these other tones, the colder one. Okay, it's important that you don't apply the paint directly from the palette because the brush is heavily charged. So with a piece of paper, you could remove the streaks of water. I will dilute a little bit more. This other thing that you need to do is correct your dilution when you are making these glazes. If you are seeing that it's covering too much, just dilute a little bit more, okay? With experience, you will see that you will know how much to dilute the paint in a couple of tries. And I am applying these cold tones over these other parts. You are seeing some parts that are really good for you, that needs not to be cleaned, sorry, smoothed or something like that. Just don't apply on those parts. And this is another thing that you could do with this technique, that is mixing these these glazes because I'm adding some bluish glazes in this part, and now I'm changing with the magenta, and I'm adding as well in this part a little bit of magenta as well, like mixing, wet mixing these these glazes. Okay, it's very fun. Just try it. Also, you could make this smoothing with the airbrush. I would do it a lot, but I want to show you different ways to make the same things. Probably not the same exactly, but similar results because at the end I have more tones and the surface and the gradients more smoother this way. Okay. Don't insist too much in one part, just move along the miniature. And I could try to make with the blue that I had used for the light. This is a very saturated color, a little bit lighter. I could add some touches of this blue in some parts in order to achieve some saturation. Let's try it. Okay, it's good. Okay, I like it. Only a couple of touches. Okay, so probably my next step for this phase will be enhance the light that I'm losing right now with these tones. So it's a matter of redoing the steps that I did in the previous live streaming. But you'll see that you don't need to redo all the work because you have some work here already done. Okay, so each time that you repeat the process, you are more near for from your final step. Okay, so I think for today is the things that I want to show you. So I hope that you enjoyed the streaming and the Kickstarter as well that this mini come from. As a reminder, probably you will know, but this miniature is from a Kickstarter from Black Sun and A Broken Toad. It's about Dark Crystal and Labyrinth movies from Jim Henson, and you could see more miniatures from all the mythic characters of these movies in their Kickstarter. Okay, so you are lazy. Let me show you a little bit what I'm talking about. Uh, and here you will see all the miniatures from these wonderful films ready for painters. You have some bust, some full figures like this. Okay, so you have a lot of stuff to enjoy painting and remembering these films that we enjoyed in our childhood. So, as I told you before, I hope that you enjoyed the, the streaming of today. And remember that we are making more streamings in Wednesday and Friday. The Wednesday will be David Arroba with you, and Friday, Jaime de Garnica painting miniatures from this project. So don't forget to take a look because we'll be at the same hour that today. And if you like to see more content like this and probably different stuff like live streaming and please don't forget to like and subscribe to Big Child's YouTube channel. And without further more, see you next time. Bye bye.